Good evening, folks, and welcome to the 18th Annual Urban World Film Festival. And we are glad you are here to join us this evening. Just to let you know, this evening's showcase is being hosted by or sponsored by Cinemax. And without further ado, I will pass on over Marvin Scott from HBO.
Woo! Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming out tonight, Friday night. I don't know if everyone knows it, Cinemax is part of HBO. That's a little secret we keep. We're just revealing to everyone right now.
Give them a comedy show.
But it's great for me to be here. I'm a huge fan of action, and this program that Demetrius Angelo has created and shared with us at Cinemax and HBO is really cool. Last year we premiered our partnership, and it was a lot of fun. I'm really excited to see what we do. This is the first taste of what we're planning for this year. There'll be more in November, but we're proud to have UASC, Demetrius Angelo. Let me introduce him.
All right. Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to thank you all for coming out and supporting the Urban Action Showcase and Expo. We're about honoring and celebrating the multicultural achievements within the action genre. We feel that it is both vital and imperative that we have images that reflect our image on screen, especially heroic images.
Yeah.
Now, the action genre is the genre of adversity and even more the genre of triumph. It's the genre where you have villains that would destroy your tomorrow and greater heroes that will save your today. So for me, the action genre is the art form that mostly imitates life, and I'm very passionate about it. And speaking of heroes, we feel that no person of color, no person in general, should have to look past the mirror to see a hero. So our push is to have more of a multicultural presence within both the big and the small screens. So speaking of heroes, before I announce the heroes that we have today, we have a few heroes in the audience. We have Vincent Lin from Operation Condor with Jackie Chan.
All right.
We have Rick Myers, author, historian, consultant to Kung Fu Panda, former editor of Inside Kung Fu magazine. And of course we have pioneer, director, producer, writer, Mr. Warrington Hudlin. He does much for the genre. Now I'm going to introduce the heroes that we have with us today. And they're all very, very dear to my experience growing up. Being born in the 60s and being a young boy and teenager in the 70s and 80s, we had to basically find a hero. After the 70s, they sort of minimized the ethnic presence on screen. And then finally in 1985, Barry Gordy came out with a production called The Last Dragon. And once again, we had a hero. So I would like to introduce my first guest, Mr. Tamak. The Last Dragon. And then as we jump to the 80s, it was Tamak actually and only Carl Weathers and Action Jackson, so that shows you how far back that we've come. Then when we get into the 90s, we had the first comic book hero to come on the scene, and that is Spawn, Mr. Master Michael Jai White. So what we want to do is we want to have a dialogue about diversity in action, and we're going to include you the best we can, but we're limited for time. So the first question I wanted to present to my panel is basically, what is your experience as far as entering the action genre itself, and what challenges and changes do you see now as far as people of color being able to enter this genre?
Well, I see Mike has been out there in Hollywood for a while now. He's had some great success, and I applaud him for that. You could look learning the business side of things and really getting through all the BS. I pulled away, and now I'm coming back. As you can see, I'm here. And say your question one more time. Sorry.
So basically, what's your experience as far as getting into the genre? How did The Last Dragon come about as far as your experience?
Yeah, I mean, I was fighting, I was competing, and it just, every kid wanted to be the star of the film, and we all were excited about it. And I did some school plays, I never acted before, and long story short, I ended up getting the role, and it was just a dream come true, because that's exactly what I was wanting to do with my life. It just happened to fall in my lap, and I was chosen for it, and I was right for it.
So Michael, is Spawn your first film or Mike Tyson's Story with HBO?
Well, yeah, the Mike Tyson story was the first significant thing I did. And Spawn came after that.
Okay, as far as your experience, were you an actor first or did you come in as a martial artist looking to just jump into action? Because obviously your crossover, why did I get married? You're for better or for worse. So you're both genres.
Well, I mean, I first, came in purely acting, and I actually chose not to do any type of martial arts stuff first until I was established as an actor. I do want to say a large part of, and I've told this, everybody knows me, but I think I should share this in this forum. A large part, and one of the most significant people and experiences to my acting career is the man to my left. It is. It's bittersweet at the same time because my knowledge and my understanding of what the business was, when I see the significance of Last Dragon, and I'm intending on going down this route eventually with the action drone and stuff, and I said, man, we have Timac, a great representative of us, our power, the look, the genre, this very successful movie. Yeah. And but seriously, because this is bittersweet. When I see the heyday of the action movies with all of these companies, there was movies that, companies you may not even know about, Shapiro Glickenhaus, there was so many Canon films. They were churning out so many martial art movies. And when I did not see these things starring this man to my left, it educated me about this genre. When he had such a successful movie that we all, it's part of our fabric. Everybody was just, that's part of our upbringing. And for that not to be respected to the way I felt that it should be, it made me really understand that I had to approach this with in a business type of manner, because they're not. It's
just
not
smart.
Yeah.
They're just smart.
So basically, you can't wait for people to put you forth. You have to put forth yourself because you're a writer, you're a producer.
Yeah.
You
You can't wait for them to. You think that they're supposed to do the thing that you know they should do.
Yeah.
And
You expect
you can't do that.
Yeah, you expect the equal treatment and whatever. And the things I learned is and things I've been told by people who are running studios, like, wow, you would be like the top, one of the top stars in the world. Man, just too bad you're black.
Wow.
Wow. Actually, things like that were said in a way, you know, like it's just commonplace, which even further fueled me. Because I said, you know, this, I mean, Bruce Lee, it
You went through a similar
yeah,
situation.
yeah, it transcends. I mean, the talent and what we're doing is universal. Martial arts, action, all that type of stuff. You can't tell me that just because I'm black that this can't work. I know there's you know certain things in this society, but then there's
You were saying earlier, most of the stuff that most of the financing you're getting for your films now are coming from Europe and other countries.
exactly.
Yeah, so let's talk
That's
about
something I
that.
learned from Wesley as well. Wesley Snipes, you know, he's like always travel, always be a presence overseas,
Right.
because you know they're going to accept you in a way that even this country may not.
So
You know?
then for the action drama, it's a myth that we don't sell overseas.
That's an absolute mess. There's never been an action movie with black folks that didn't work.
They try to
No,
make us
it's-
believe that only Will Smith sells overseas, which is absolutely not true because most of your films are financed, as you said, overseas.
Well, yeah, they make a lot more money overseas. I mean, because you think about it, if this is the world, the United States is this big. Action is like, okay, the truth of the matter is, even white movies don't sell overseas that are like, say, the majority of our movies may be, you know, say if we have Tyler Perry movies or romantic comedies or whatever, okay? Just like white romantic comedies may not sell over there because they have their own as well. Why the movies that sell from the United States are action movies. Just like the movies from China that sell over here are action movies. A French movie, we don't care about no damn French, you know, like love story. We don't really. It's a French action movie that will sell. So there's never been a black action movie that didn't sell overseas. That's a falsehood. I mean, Wesley Snipes was significant and continued to be significant because of that. When people had no idea who Denzel Washington was. But they only know Denzel Washington once he was doing action movies.
Right.
You know? So so there's a lie that it's a lie that goes along with the truth. Yeah. Yeah, a movie in the hood or whatever may not sell overseas, just like a movie in a trailer park ain't gonna sell overseas either.
Right.
You know what I mean? But they you know, say, if you're gonna say white movies are movies that you've blown up stuff, well, yeah, they sell overseas. They don't blow stuff up like we do here.
Correct.
So, but it is not true in the fashion. If we have something universal, it's gonna sell in a universal fashion. And it's been proven. I mean, it's proven over and over. Blood and Bone, the things I've produced, Blood and Bone, Black Dynamite,
And Black Dynamite is also a cartoon series.
right.
That's a whole nother level.
Yeah, I'm always you know, overseas, and it's not like, I'm in Romania, and it feels like I'm in Washington, D.C. And it's not like people go, oh, you look familiar. No, they go, Michael Jai White. That's exactly what they're saying. And I'm going, wow, like, you know, and I get offers to do films in Russia, just every country, because they sell there. But they don't let you know that here.
So Tama,
Yes,
you were
sir.
saying most of your audience is overseas, Germany. You have a lot of
Well,
audience.
yeah, I mean, just like Michael said, look, it's just a myth that men of color, action stars like ourselves, won't sell. It's just a myth. You know, like Fred the Hammer says, man, I date Swedish women, French women. The Hammer was saying, look, they love us, you know, so, you know, it's just a myth. It's a myth. A
Okay.
good movie is a good movie.
All right, let's
Bottom line.
talk about today. The studios are mostly producing big budget films. We have the digital revolution where you can go straight to DVD or straight to streaming. How do you feel that affects the ethnic presence in films? Because right now, as far as people of color, you have a lot of ambiguous people such as The Rock, such as Vin Diesel. But Fast and Furious is the, I guess, most successful multicultural franchise that we have. So as a person trying to get into the genre now, what is your advice to them and you know, as far as what you feel they should do do you feel that they should go straight to DVD? For instance, Cheetah Vision, 50 Cent. He has a $200 million deal with Lionsgate, and he produces $10, $20 million films, but he has A-list talent, and he only goes straight to DVD. So do you feel the streaming platforms and being able to go straight to DVD has affected our, I guess, chances to be or to have a presence theatrically?
Mike knows more about the business aspects. He's been at it more than I have. One of the things that I would say, just from my personal opinion, is that you should take your thing and run with it. Mike is building his empire. Take your thing and run with it. No matter where you are, you will be noticed if you make good business decisions, whether it's online or, like you said, on demand, and you'll get recognized. But don't sit there and wait, to be up on the big screen. Years go by.
Yeah, I mean, what's happening now is it's returned, basically, think about the 70s, it's returned to that, where now you're gonna see there's much less content out. You'll notice even if you have Netflix or whatever, you stop seeing a whole lot of a surplus of films. It's almost like, damn, the same things are out, You're gonna see it even more, because a lot less things are being made. Now, it's going to return back to the days of, like, when you go to the theaters, there's only going to be a few movies. This is really returning back to that. So the trick is to get these movies to be significant again. You have to then kind of treat it like a concert. You have to treat them like an event, and you got to have money behind it to do so. Just like with Tyler Perry. And, people are going to have to put, kind of take a page out of his book, is to put movies on the road, build up the interest in them, and then change it that way. Because what you do is you like I'm doing with this one. Well, this one's not my company. I started my own company, so you're going to start seeing kind of it's called Gigantic. You're going to I'm going to be doing these things to where I build up the audience and have like event type of structures, and so everybody can, like, you get people going to the theater and then you expand upon that, kind of like the way that it was done way back in the day. You do that a few times and you basically can open it wide. But I will be on the road shepherding a film from city to city to show you what the brand is going to be, and it's going to touch on the stuff that you talked about. My thing is, I've been trying to buy my freedom, which I have, to be able to do the stuff I want to do, to provide the movies I looked up to growing up, and we looked up to growing up. Powerful role models.
Yes.
That's why I got Sister, Layla Ali in this movie.
Right.
Because there's no female, alpha females out there.
Let's talk about that. Why haven't we seen it?
Not since Pam Grier.
Right.
Not since Pam Grier have you seen a really powerful black woman in movies.
They let Holly be Catwoman.
Well, I can go, I'm not even going to go there. There's a major difference between those two. But it's but like that's a shame, And I grew up with people like Fred Williamson, Jim Brown, every black male that was doing movies at that time. They were the ass kicker. They were good looking. They were smart. They had every alpha characteristic that you know of. I mean, you look at any white movie, television show, anything, there's an alpha male that gets the woman that's smart, whatever, and you really see almost none of that now. Where it was like on the equal playing field back in the 70s. What happened? You know what I mean?
The thing is, look, this is a conversation. I'm 50 years old. This is a conversation I've been hearing for, it seems like 50 years. It's getting old. And who do you want to put the responsibility? We have to stick together. We have to support each other. That's the bottom line. Otherwise, we'll be talking about this for the rest of our lives.
Listen,
You know, our
social
children,
media,
our great-grandchildren, why don't we move? You gotta really support each other, you know?
for
You
instance,
gotta, this is the time because we got the internet, you know?
Right.
You gotta start a fan page of a fan page of a fan page and tell everybody in the world to go to this man's movie, to go to my next gig, whatever it might be. Support. They have what's the name of the movie we saw last night, fellas?
Beyond the Lights.
Beyond the Lights. You know, very positive film, showing men of color, a female from England, beautiful, positive film. You got to support that film. You got to really invest in it, like you're investing in your culture. You're investing in a positive future for your people.
and we have platforms for that. The crowdfunding platforms, you have the Indiegogo, you have the Kickstarters. But what people don't understand is, you don't need to go to those platforms. Crowdfunding or source funding comes out of the Jobs Act. So it's a law. People can invest in what you do for intangibles where you're not restricted on time. You know what I'm saying? So whenever someone independently, especially a person of color, is presenting a project, we have to get behind it, as Tom Mack said, and we have to support it. Now, we only have a few minutes left before we introduce the film. I want to give the audience a chance to ask a few questions. Anyone have any questions? Raise your hand. This gentleman, Plaid.
So speaking about supporting films from people of color, you guys brought up Tyler Perry, and a lot of times I feel like Tyler Perry kind of plays into those like stereotypical like things that we don't want to represent.
Then tell everybody. Tell them what you want. What do you want? You know, like Mike is talking about Alpha Male. Put it out there. Put it out there. Speak it. Don't just sit back and say, well, we're not getting what we want. Be proactive in what you want. That's like a GP for life. You know?
Well, yeah. I mean, of course, I hear the Tyler Perry thing quite a bit. Now, if you want to give everything an equal playing field, he's unequaled in positive stuff. And for every negative thing that you can say, yeah, it speaks to maybe a certain segment that you may not want to see or whatever, but then there are people who it is speaking for. And then as far as positive role models, there's been, bar none, it's not, you can't even compare as far as all the positivity he's put out in there's quality in each one of these things. I mean, why did I give it? It's just too many to name, and how prolific he's done in a short amount of time. Nobody's going to be everybody's cup of tea, but I think the biggest naysayer against him, you're going to find other things that are positive no matter what. And can you imagine if he didn't do anything, if he wasn't there? I mean, but he's making it so that hopefully people take a page out of his book and start creating, and he's proving that you can be successful. That's major. Proving that these black films could be successful, that's changed Hollywood. I want people to continue that change.
Do great films. Do great movies. Do whatever you do it great. That's my thing. You know, if I'm gonna do, I don't care if it's a web series. Play a great role. Invest. If you're gonna be an artist, invest your life in it. Have passion for it and work hard. Just don't do an okay script. Do a great script. You know. So if you have any complaints about the Tyler Perry movie, then make your own movie. You know.
Greatest entertainment.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yay!
Thank you. Yes, sir. In the back.
I'm visiting from Angola, in the Caribbean, and I just want everybody in the room to know that the heroes that we worship in the Caribbean sit up there.
All right.
Thank you.
As you travel to the Caribbean, you start to understand that all isn't lost. You know, there's a lot of love for what you do outside of this room. You know, so just keep on keeping on.
Yeah, it's the air I breathe. It's the air I breathe. You know, I haven't done a major motion picture, and it's been almost 30 years. But the fans act like it's yesterday. So, and I feel like I'm 20, and I'm training and everything. So I'm always ready.
One more question.
My comment is for Mike. Basically, after seeing the movie Blood and Bone, I was just like looking forward to seeing like the next movie. So I'm excited to hear that you started your own company and that I look forward to seeing more movies like that.
Well, you're about to.
And on that note, Mike, take us into Falcon Rising. Tell us about how you got into this role and how you brought Layla in and so forth.
Well, as you'll see, Falcon Rising is kind of like, if you like Blood and Bone, this is stepping it up to another level. These are the type of films that I intend on continuing in this fashion, where I can bring all the attributes together. It's a movie that is financed mainly overseas money, German, and it was the main contributor. It's one of these things where it's just universal. It's nothing about. I mean, I would want a staple of my films to be the fact that it is not ethnically connected to. I mean, it's just I happen to be an African American that's in the leading role. Yeah. And it's got nothing to do with ethnicity whatsoever. It's universal. It's a universal movie, and I think that particularly that my belief is that's how you change things. You show that it does not matter. If anything, it may strengthen the storyline and everything. But it's you gotta prove it doesn't matter before you change it.
Well, on that note, you're in store for an amazing experience. I would like to thank our sponsors, Cinemax, HBO, the social responsibility team at Cinemax, Jeffrey Song, Dennis Williams, Marvin Scott, Mary Johnson, April Torres. I would like to give a special thanks to Gabrielle Galore from Urban World for allowing us to be a part of this amazing platform. You guys gotta understand, 18 years of presenting a platform to magnify multicultural presence in film is an amazing feat by itself. I'm hoping that I'll be able to do the same thing. I'm 2 years in and my knees are wobbling, but I appreciate the support from everyone. And I would like to thank especially Tama and Michael Jai White because they supported my first Urban Action Showcase. These are people who support the people that support them. So I want you to make sure you tell 10 people, and those 10 people tell 10 people, and so on, about Falcon Rising and about the projects that we're doing. Without further ado, we're going to set up for the screening.
Yes.
Future's
Thank you.
bright.
Awesome.